Hey, reporters, welcome back to my channel. Listen, Jaylan and Leah are fighting again, guys. Ooh, they are fighting. So it went down on Twitter the other day, and I thought that I would do a recap for you guys right now. So as you guys recall, recently Leah subtweeted about Jaylan, and then she put it on her Instagram as well. She talked about how him asking for her stepdaughter's permission to ask her to marry him was just a publicity stunt because he knew that she did not want him to do that. And so she was pissed that he did it on camera, not once, but twice. And now this time she's coming out to accuse him of faking a document claiming that she was on the deed of her house, which could be described as forgery, which, as we all know, is a crime. And so, in response, Jaylan is really upset. He's on his own Twitter account accusing her of defamation, which I take as a thinly veiled threat for a lawsuit. We already know that he slapped her with an NDA. Who's to say that he is above slapping our girl with a lawsuit next, right? So let's get into what started all the drama. Leah tweeted, "This doesn't have anything to do with why we broke up, but the deed scene was BS as well. He made up a fake document to get my real, on-camera, happy reaction and had me believing I was in the deed until we got home and I learned otherwise. Hashtag publicity stunt. Hashtag F out of here." Isn't it a little bit interesting to you how Leah doesn't consider this man lying about her status as a co-owner of their home or forging documents? She doesn't consider that like breakup worthy. She's saying that that had nothing to do with why they broke up. I'm like, see, this is why every time we're about to think that this girl, made a smart move, like the brain cells are growing a little bit there, she goes, nope, not quite. Like, how on earth does this have nothing to do with why you broke up? I'm sorry, but she sounds real dumb. Anyway, Jaylan responded on Twitter with his own series of subtweets. Starting off with, "So I've been doing everything I can as I man to move forward and focus on myself so that I can be a better man at the end of the day. I'm not trying to go after nobody or hurt no one. I did add you to the deed. You know that. When we got back, they called me and told me why you couldn't be added to the deed. They keep all records. They keep call records, sorry." So I guess he's saying, listen, Leah, I could pull out the receipts that I did indeed call them. Sorry, that they did indeed call me to tell me that they could not add you to the deed. So if that is the case, I would love to see him provide those receipts for sure. Why not, right? Then he continued on to say, "We had that conversation together and it had not yet been recorded for the reason why you couldn't be added, because it would go into a lien." And that is in reference to the fact that Leah Messer owes, I believe, $400,000 in back taxes. So it makes sense why she would not be allowed to be on the deed of the home. And honestly, I feel like she was even in on the whole not being put on the deed of the home as well, specifically for that reason. I don't believe that Leah would have given him all that money to put into the house without her name on it if she was not in tax trouble. I know my girl is not shining at 60 watts, but she is not, she's not a light bulb that doesn't turn on at all either, right? Like, I think that this was something that they both concocted together, but I digress. So Jaylan continued with, "But they didn't know that when I initially went there to add you and get a hard copy to show you because I wanted something else to gift you, that we're going to be on it together. It still had to be recorded, and that's where they see personal." I'm sorry, but the grammar is not grammaring, so it's a little bit difficult to read what it is he's saying. One thing that's really jumping out to me about this is why everything has to be done in secret. Listen, Leah doesn't work, right? So she's got all the time, her kids are in school, so she's got all the time in the world to go into these real estate offices with Jaylan. So why is he doing these things in secret and not having her go with him? Something about that does not add up. My ex, when he was buying a house, I was not involved in that, but he really wanted me to come to all meetings, and I would go to the meetings, right? I was like, all right, I guess. Like, if I've got nothing to do, I didn't go to all meetings, but he really wanted me to be there for the process. And so I would go. And so it's odd to me that Jaylan never once thought to have Leah come in. Like, if you want her name on the deed, why would you not bring her with you? Something about that just does not make sense. Anyway, he also said that she doesn't have to be present for me to add her. But that's the thing. Even if she does not have to be present, why would you not want her to be present? Why would this not be an activity that you guys do together? Something about that is fishy, Jaylan. For me to add her to the deed as a primary holder, I just want everyone to know that I am in a place where I don't consider myself a perfect man. And I know I got work to do, and that's okay. But I never did that to you. I encourage you to call the attorney and ask them everything Jaylan Mobley tried to do to get you on that deed. Well, here's the thing, Jaylan. You are pretending that you are an open book here, but you know damn well that attorney client privilege exists. So if Leah were to call the attorney, your attorney, to ask everything that you did, the attorney would say, I'm sorry, but that is privileged information. So, maybe this is something that's going to fool people who are not aware of that. But those of us who know can peep game on the manipulative language here. Moving right along. He also says, me asking Lee for his blessing happened twice. Once in private on a golf course with nobody prior to her telling me she didn't want his blessing. And once pressed by MTV, I didn't do it for a publicity stunt. So here's the thing. You should know before you even ask the father of somebody whether or not that's something that she wants you to do. So the fact that he's over there saying, okay, the first time it was on a golf course and I had no idea that it was something that she did not want me to do. Well, wouldn't you talk about it? I feel like at this stage in the game, at this age, she's been married twice. You can have a candid conversation. It's no longer a fairy tale to her. She's 30. I think Jaylan was a bit younger, but he's pushing 30 at the very least. It's 2022. We're in a very progressive world. So I feel like typically if you're about to get engaged to someone, you have some sort of a conversation about what it is that they want. Like, do you want a public proposal, a private proposal? Should I be asking someone like in your family for your hand in marriage or something like that? Because, some people don't want you to ask their dad. Some people would rather you ask their mom. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Maybe their cousin, maybe their mailman. I don't know. Like these are things that you ask people at a certain point in time. And so now he says, okay, that time I didn't know, so I should get a pass on it. But the second time I did it because MTV pressured me to. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't buy that MTV pressured you to film a scene asking the stepdad for Leah's hand in marriage. I believe that that's something that you went and did knowing how she felt about things. And Leah already said that the first time you asked Lee was filmed as well, and it didn't make the cut, so you went and did it again. So I'm more inclined to believe what Leah is saying here, to be honest with you. And he says, they asked me during dinner because they knew the stir it would cause. Also, I apologize about that on camera. No, you did not. You kept telling Leah that she was spoiling the moment because she told you that she was upset that you did something that you knew she did not want you to do. So again, manipulative language, deceptive language. And I don't appreciate it. I don't like people lying in my face and playing in my face, right? Like, we're not dumb over here, boo-boo. We see right through you. And I've seen right through you since the beginning, okay? I took a lot of heat. And speaking of that, those of you who used to believe in this man, who used to hate on me for telling y'all he was a fraud to the highest degree. He was a user. Thank you for coming back and apologizing. A lot of you guys apologized on my Instagram. Thank you. Thank you. I accept. So anyway, yeah, like he just uses a lot of manipulative and deceptive language here that I am not feeling. Okay. So he also says, I was wrong. So why the need to try to humiliate someone who said he was wrong and understands his mistakes? And we both agreed that we both overreacted. I'm finding happiness and moving towards a peaceful life completely. I don't know. Something about this rubs me the wrong way. The way he's talking about feeling happy and peaceful and stuff. Well, Leah can't feel that same way because she can't express herself because you slapped her with an NDA. So here you are, all like free as a bird, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she cannot say a damn thing, because you decided to lock her down with an NDA. And I think that, again, that is a bad look. And that says a lot about him and how shady he is. Again, I feel like that's very odd. It's a very interesting thing to admit when you're trying to act like you're this wonderful, peaceful guy, right? Like, I'm so peaceful. Forget about that NDA in the background, right? That hides all the shady things I did to this woman, the reasons why she left me. Anyway, Leah then went to her Instagram and she said, so yeah, he said he was trying to get me on the deed after we made it back home from Costa Rica. But while we were there, he made it seem on camera as though it was already complete and done. I take full responsibility for believing that because I even asked, don't I have to be present? And he said, no, because I'm the sole owner. It's the lying. I don't know. Is that true? You guys would have to tell me. Listen, to me, it sounds a little bit odd that you would be able to put someone on the title or on the deed of your house without them being present. Like maybe like if you have pieces of their ID or something, like to verify that. I don't know. Something about it seems odd to me because a mortgage is a massive responsibility. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars of financial responsibility. So it seems very unfair to me that you would be able to put like any random person. Can I put Shakira on my mortgage so that she can pay it off for me? Can I put Mark Zuckerberg? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be present. I don't have to prove any kind of a connection to you. That seems a little bit odd. I've heard that in some states that's the case, but I've never heard of that in Canada. But I digress. You guys let me know in the comments, but it seems a little weird. I would put a millionaire or a billionaire on the deed of my house then, right? So they can pay it off for me. Anyway, she says, it's the lying. Why even make it part of filming? Why not say, I'm trying to get your name on the deed instead? Why even film with my dad not once, but twice when you asked me prior to doing it a second time? So the first time he did it without knowing or asking her if it was something that she would like him to do. And the second time he did it knowing that it was not something that she wanted him to do. How brazen is that? A brazen hussy. Where am I getting that from? I'm not literally calling Jaylan a brazen hussy, but it's something that like I've heard on social media before. Anyway, moving along. Was the first yes not good enough? Or did you just want to be in another episode? Ooh, Dragon Miss Messer. You didn't care to tell MTV no on specific scenes you didn't want to film. So them pressing you is again BS. Make it make sense. It's all BS, but moving along now. If you know, you know. So there it is. She's saying, listen, MTV has never had to pressure you to shoot nothing. And I don't believe it either. Listen, Jaylan and his dentures were always ready, willing, and able to shoot any damn thing. Even those weekly photo shoots that he was doing with Leah, like that guy loves himself a camera. So I don't believe that MTV ever had to pressure him to shoot anything. And a real man or a real person, even women of integrity, knowing that their partner does not want this, would say no and put their foot down. What are they going to do? They can't fire you, obviously, because they would want to get your wedding on their show. So just say no. I don't buy him. Anyway, she then posted this quote on her Instagram saying, 1,000,000 apologies to myself for letting too much slide. So here's where I have to interject. Right now, it seems as though I'm really grilling Jaylan and letting Leah slide, but I want to assure you that that is not the case. When Leah put this up, I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you need to take some responsibility, Leah. You did not let a bunch of like stuff slide. You made a bunch of dumb decisions yourself. You willingly played the fool for this man, okay? And you were in on the whole leaving your name off the deed thing. Leah has bought a couple of houses before. She knows how this works. She studied for the real estate license. I know she failed that test, but she tried and she studied real estate. So she knows a lot more than she's letting on, for the simple fact that she wants to be able to put things up like this. She wants to be able to victimize herself. She wants to play boo-boo the fool. Listen, I know she is a little bit boo-boo the fool, but she knows enough to know that what was happening was shady. She knows enough that she most likely was in on the whole, hey, listen, I'm going to slide you some cash. You're going to get this house in your name. We're going to be married anyway, so it'll be ours. It'll be community property 50-50. But with this tax debt stuff, I cannot have it in my name. And so I need you to help me on this. So this, I don't appreciate. Leah, you are not a victim in the situation. Yeah, you are in some ways, but in other ways, you played yourself and you willingly played yourself trying to play Uncle Sam. Okay. And you didn't only play yourself, but you played your daughters as well, as usual, which is the saddest part about all of this. If I could be real with you guys for a second, but I digress. Now, Jaylan kept on tweeting after seeing Leah's responses on Instagram and whatnot. And so he says, okay, while on camera, I did make it seem like it was final, the deed thing, because it was final to me. Again, here's another person playing stupid. Jaylan, you're a smart man. You're in a PhD program, okay? It was final to me. So I went and created a fake document. I'm sorry, but that's not passing the sniff test. I don't make the final decision as the attorneys who is responsible for recording the deed. That's not my fault. Again, she doesn't have to be present for me to add her. Am I wrong for trying? No, but you're wrong for lying to her. You said it was final. You presented her with a fake document claiming it was final. And now you're over here backtracking, talking about it was final to me. Why don't you go write a check for yourself for $1 million in crayon? Go to the bank. And when they tell you that thing is bogus and you're not going to get no $1 million inserted into your account, why don't you tell them, but this check is real to me? See how far that gets you, okay? Anyway, he also added, if they said okay, then she would have been on it. They told me they would not add her to the deed due to the liability and risk. That still didn't stop me from trying to figure it out, but I'm lying about that. I tried to do it and they told me no once we got back. They have proof. Show us the proof then, Jaylan. Show us the proof at the end of the day. But here's the thing. They both knew that Leah, given her financial status, owing the IRS a cool $400K plus, was a liability to the house. Why were they even trying to put her name on it after the fact? Like, wouldn't they have? It seems like they wanted her name on the deed. So why did they not try to put it on from the beginning so that they could avoid all of this? Then they would have known for certain that it's not something that's possible because Leah presents too great of a risk. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that the whole reason why they tried to do it after the fact? Like, did they think that just because they already put the down payment and the closing costs down, all of a sudden they could just waltz in and put her name on the deed? Is that what it was? I kind of am leaning towards that, but obviously that is not something that could have happened. Again, Jaylan is claiming that there is documented proof in the form of call records and documents. I would like to see it. And again, I would like to know why he never brought Leah in on any of these meetings. It's weird to me that this man would be taking these secret meetings without his fiance. He also says, I only filmed with her stepdad once. So now you're claiming that Leah's lying about that. Where did she get the idea that you filmed twice from? If you only filmed once, she had to have gotten it from somewhere. Who's lying? Was it the producer? Was it the stepdad? Is it Leah or is it you? I don't know. You guys tell me who you think is lying in the comment section down below. No, MTV was at the golf course and I didn't consider myself right for asking him on camera, but I have said that on camera as well, and definitely not to be in another episode. Well, no, again, he did not accept responsibility. All he told Leah to do was to ignore her feelings because she was ruining his moment, his big engagement moment. And then he also said, listen, Jaylan was on a roll this night, right? Like, he was a true chatty patty. He said, you even said yourself that you overreacted, but now it's completely my fault for trying to do something positive. I was trying so hard to do something for you that you didn't want. How dare you hurt my feelings? You see, again, the manipulative language there. I take full accountability for the in-camera scene with him. I've said that. Well, no, you don't, because you're painting her out to be the bad guy for saying that she's complaining about you trying to do something positive. Like, you see, he's always talking in circles. This guy is creepy. And then he goes, my vision is so beyond any of this. A sentence of nothing. It's beyond social media. Another sentence of nothing. It's beyond being on TV. I'm sorry, Jaylan, but being on TV and being on Instagram is your ultimate goal in life. And being on Vogue magazine, that's why you Photoshop yourself on Vogue covers, but we're not going to get into that. It's beyond SHIT that ain't promised. I am focused on my future and how I can show up in my life 100%. I know my worth. It's worth an ironclad NDA. And sometimes that scares people when they know the potential you have. See, like a whole bunch of nothing. And now this is when he goes ahead and lets a little bit of a threat slip to Leah, saying, keep going, girl. And you're not only going to have that NDA, you're going to have a lawsuit on your hands because I will sue you for defamation. He says, telling the world I created a fake legal document when it can be proved by the legal system that it wasn't is defamation of character at its highest. Guys, that wasn't just a statement, that was a warning shot. And you know what? It's really funny to me because Jaylan himself admitted on Twitter in writing that he created a fake legal document. Because what did he say? Oh, well, I did make it seem like it was final because it was final to me. Well, that's forgery, Jaylan. You just admitted to it. So this little thinly veiled threat that you tweeted out there, it's not going to amount to anything, because at the end of the day, you take Leah to court and you take that fake document that you put together to trick her into thinking that she was a co-owner of that house, and see who ends up in jail at the end of the day. See who ends up losing that trial. It's going to be you, okay? And you're going to run out of budget for these dainty little blazers of yours, okay? And those tight pants of yours, those tight fake Gucci pants of yours. You're going to run out of budget for that because you, at the end of the day, admitted yourself on Twitter that you made it seem like it was final, aka official, because it was final in you, like to you. So this right here, I'm sorry, but it's a joke. I hope that Leah does not feel scared seeing this tweet, because at the end of the day, there's nothing that Jaylan can get her on here. She has every right in the world to tell the truth. And the truth is this: Jaylan had her believe that her name was officially on the deed for the home when it was in fact not on the deed of the home. And Jaylan's own words confirm that. So there you have it. And this is like the NDA. Remember, I had my lawyer friend, Stephanie from Wine and Chill, on the channel, and she had so much to say. If you guys haven't watched that video, you really should. She said, listen, Leah, that NDA is not going to hold up in court. So you can sing like a canary if you want to. You can spill all the tea on this shady man if you want to. He is just trying to scare you. At the end of the day, there's nothing he can do. There's no, he's not going to collect millions from you. He's not going to collect hundreds of thousands. He's not going to collect tens of thousands from you. There's nothing. It's all hot air. It's all meant to scare you, but he's got nothing on you, Leah. You did not defame his character. You simply told the truth about him creating a fake legal document, and Jaylan himself will tell you that. I did make it seem like it was final because it was final to me, okay? Honestly, this man has made me sick from the very beginning. Listen, I don't feel happy to be vindicated because at the end of the day, this hurts Leah that I was right. But I'm happy that the world can finally see what I saw from day one. All right, this man ain't shit. All he wanted to do was target a woman like Leah, a nice lady who's not the sharpest tool in the shed, so that he can get on television, so that he can flaunt this fake luxury lifestyle, so that he can become some sort of an influencer, so that he can, I don't know what. And that's what's so creepy about people like Jaylan. Jaylan had a lot going for himself already, right? He was highly educated. Some women would consider him decent looking. He had a nice career and stuff, and he chose to do all this. A sham of a relationship, a sham of a proposal, just so he can become famous. Like, fame truly is a drug to some people, and it's quite scary, I have to say. Listen, a true Dear John, Dirty John, it's a Dirty John, right? And I've been saying this for so long, you guys, I think like a year, and I still have not gotten it right. How embarrassing for my life and my soul, right? Anyway, I think he's a Dirty John is what you call that. But I digress. Anyway, Leah, again, let me tell you, girl, you are not 100% blameless in this. You did, I think you conspired with him to avoid paying your taxes. That's what I'm going to say. I think you were in on this for that reason. And you willingly ignored a lot of red flags about him. But at the end of the day, Jaylan is the icky one here. And Jaylan keeps trying to silence her through like the legal system. First, he's got the NDA, and now he's got this very thinly veiled threat. But listen, Leah, go back and watch that stream I did with my lawyer friend, Stephanie from Wine and Chill. He's got nothing on you on that NDA. Speak all you want. Let him try to sue you. He won't, first of all. He was just trying to threaten you. But even if he does, it would be thrown out. And second of all, there's nothing he can do. He admitted it himself. There's literally nothing he can do. So don't let him scare you, okay? At the end of the day, we're here for you, girl. We got you, and you're going to make it out better on the other side of this. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about this. This is a long video. I'm sorry, but I have so many thoughts, but let me let you guys share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.